Hi, friends. Do us and yourselves a favor and check out our affiliate, 3 Spirit Drinks. They create plant-based, non-alcoholic elixirs that are cruelty-free and vegan, and they are designed to give you some of the benefits of alcohol without the hangover and other side effects. If you're looking to cut down on alcohol but still want the buzz, check them out. The link is us.3spiritdrinks.com and use the promo code TheActivityContinues for 15% off your entire order. Hi, Ghosty fam. Welcome to the Activity Continues podcast. So usually we are me, Amy, and my co-hosts, Megan and Amy, AP, covering episodes of the TV show The Dead Files, but a couple of things are different this week. First of all, it's just the Amy's today. Well, as far as hosts go. Megan had to take care of a family emergency, and we just found out. So we're pivoting, and we hope that all will be well with the family and that she'll be with us again next week. So since the Dead Files is on break, we are doing an interview today. AP, do you want to tell the people who we're talking to today?
Yeah, sure. I'm excited for this because today we are talking to Kirsten Langston. She's a psychic medium and a tarot card reader. So we have some information from Kirsten's bio, which will be a connection within our website, along with this episode. So Kirsten comes from a long line of gifted psychics and healers. Her unique skills allow her to fulfill her desire to help people, spread joy, and make the world a better place. No matter what her medium, which I love that it says medium and she's also medium. Her goal is to spread knowledge, love, and joy as far and wide as she can, which I think is completely awesome. That's a great mission.
Yes.
She founded Third Eye Champagne in 2017 because she knew in her heart she was meant to bring happiness, laughter, comfort, and insight to the world. She's the author of 5 novels, and you can find her show Third Eye Champagne on YouTube and Instagram, and The Collective by Third Eye Champagne. In 2021, she launched The Collective by Third Eye Champagne, a psychic and spiritual multimedia destination designed as a safe space for people from all walks of life who are interested in the psychic and spiritual paths. Fun, education, entertainment, and community are the highlights of this virtual metaphysical hub. You can view both free content and subscribe to exclusive content on The Collective by Third Eye Champagne. Again, links to her website and her YouTube channel will be in the show notes. As we're not sure what we might be coming across this week, we don't have a content warning right here, but if you want to take a look at the show notes, if there's anything that comes up, please do that. So listener discretion is always advised.
Yes. As far as like new things I did this week, whoopsie, what happened there?
I turned my light over.
My ring light took a dive today too, but I'm not using it right now.
We're good.
We're good. Everything's good. We're fine. Everything's fine. We're fine.
The ghosts from the Haunted Mansion are following me.
Oh, yeah. AP went to see the Haunted Mansion movie today and enjoyed it, you said.
I loved it.
Yeah. I haven't seen it. I only heard from one other person that it was not good. But I probably side more with you, Amy, than I do with anybody else as far as this kind of a movie.
It's cute. It's Disney. It's entertainment value. I'm not going in looking for a blockbuster. Like, I wanted something that was fun, and I love the Disney ride, and it me embodied the ride. So,
oh, good. Yeah, I loved that ride. Oh my God, I was so excited when I was little and went to see it. And I was scared a little because I was fairly small, but it was that kind of scary that you love. Like you know that you're safe. You're at Disney. You know you're safe, right?
Yeah.
And you're with your parents. And so you have that safe bubble feeling, but so that you're allowed to be scared of stuff, but you know you're safe. And that is the best kind of scared to possibly be for me. So yeah, I loved that ride. Loved it.
Yeah. You know, like if you remember in the ride. And now this is 20 some years ago that I'm talking about the last time I was on this, but there was like faces that would show up in mirrors and they had
Yeah.
bluish glint to them. Well, that's how they have the ghosts in part of this. And I'm not going to give it all away, but I thought it was really cute and I would definitely watch it again when it comes out on Disney Plus.
Yeah, good. I will too. I'll watch it. Okay, so the only like real news we have is that we now have a real URL for our website instead of being some bit.ly that I made up or podpage.com/. It is theactivitycontinues.com. Simple as that. So, and it goes to the same place, the same website that we've always had. And on that website, I know I don't really check our stats on that website, so I'm not really sure how many visitors we get, but there is a lot of stuff there. So you can get all of our episodes, video and regular. You can watch them straight from the website.
Awesome.
You can leave us a message, whether you want to do that as a little typey type, or if you want to do a recording, speak into it and like tell us your ghost stories and we can play them on the show. Or let's see what else is in there. There's a blog, so you can go in and read the blog. There's a section for guests, and each guest that we've had on our show has a bio with a picture and all the links to all the special stuff. And so there's a lot of stuff on that site. And
Thanks
like I
for
said,
sharing that. I'm excited for that and that you got that all together for us.
Yeah, I had been wanting to get the URL, but I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to spend the money. And then you got to figure out hosting and all this stuff. Well, I just bought the URL from Google for like $12. And then all I had to do is go into the pod page where the website lives and just put the name in there and the DNS server, do a bunch of like little techie stuff, and bada bing, bada boom. It's all there. Just seamlessly. It took about an hour it took like 5 seconds for me to type it in, but you have to wait for all the machines to do their crunching and all that shit, but whatever.
Well, that's awesome.
Cool.
Amy, you are so fantastic at everything that you do and all the tech stuff. I would just be sitting there staring at things and being like, why isn't it working? I don't understand.
I love all that stuff. I mean, when it's working, but it's kind of fun to solve the problems when it's not working too. But yeah.
Sometimes my solving the problem is throwing it out the window. But
oh, yeah. Well, that's tempting at times for me as well.
But I always talk very nicely around all my technology at work. Very kind.
Yeah. Make friends with tech support. First thing you do when you start a new job, make friends with tech support. That was always admins.
When I was teaching, it was make friends with the admins in the office because they always know everything that's going on. And if you need any help, they're always there to help you, and the custodial staff. And that was, I remember one of the schools I was at, and the principal did not like me at all. And the admin, she saw me one day after he basically told me that if I didn't resign, he wouldn't give me a letter of recommendation, which it goes against the union, policies. And that sort of stuff. She heard about it. And she took one look at me and she said, you're packing up your stuff and you're going home for the weekend. She goes, here, we'll figure out the subs for tomorrow and Friday.
Wow.
And she's like, don't even worry about lesson plans. Don't worry about anything. Like, we'll figure it out. Just go. And she's like, I'm not even just go home to your apartment. You're going home to the cities.
Oh, all the way home.
Yep. So she took care of me.
That was nice. That's nice that she had first of all, the wherewithal, but also the permission to do something like that, to be able to just say, we'll figure it out.
She did not like this principal. So I didn't like that I questioned him on how to do things and processes.
Well, you're a girl. You're not supposed to do that.
It was just one of those things. But the K-8 principal really liked me and he had my back. So
good. One other thing I wanted to mention is we always talk about a chaos magician and how we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Well, the other day I was going through, I was on Facebook and I saw a post from the Dead Files official group. And it was a video of Amy Allen. It was outtakes of Amy Allen going through a walk and seeing kitties everywhere.
I love that one.
There was a spirit over here. Oh, kitty. It was so cute. It was fucking adorable. And I shared it to our Facebook group too, but our Facebook page. But anyway, so I went back and looked at all these other videos. There's a ton of videos there, and they're all super short. I sent these guys, Amy and Megan, today, another one of Steve Dishavi dancing. And I mean, it's just silly stuff like that. So I'm going to put a link in the show notes to that and in the blog so that you guys can go and look at those videos. But at any rate, while I was digging around in there, I found one that says, Amy.
Digging through the archives?
Digging through the archives. That's right. That's exactly what I was doing. I'll insert the Steve Dishavi voice saying that.
Digging through the archives.
So Chaos Magician, there was a video called Amy Explains a Chaos Magician. So she said, well, she didn't really, I don't know why it says Amy described, because she didn't really. It was just, it showed an instance of her telling a client that a chaos magician was needed. Mm-hmm. And then it was basically like an edited little thing put together of like screens that say what a chaos magician is. And then showing a person, a man, I believe, doing some kind of a ritual, drawing chalk on the floor and stuff like that. So anyway, chaos magician is basically a shaman who combines a bunch of supernatural arts into one. They are not devoted to a specific belief structure or religion. Okay. So I will put that link in the show notes too, but that's a fun thing to do if you're bored someday. Go over and look at those videos because they were pretty entertaining.
That's awesome.
Hi friends, Amy here. I thought you all might be worried about Megan's family emergency. Everyone is fine now. So I recorded a short intro with her. Well, it ended up being 40 minutes, but I cut most of it and will release to patrons because it was a fun conversation. So here's an intro that was recorded after AP and I met with Kirsten. Anyway, so yes, this episode we spoke with Kirsten Langston. And she is also known as Third Eye Champagne Collective. I know. And she tells why she named it Champagne. In a nutshell, she's just super cool. But I think I mentioned that she does things called drunk tarot. Mm-hmm. And she said, I don't want to give away too much, but she said in the episode that she was doing tarot readings and channeling, and it got to be like a little too much. It's hard for her to like, I don't know, sort all that, keeping people where they're supposed to be and like not letting them get in too much and bother her too much. So she's like, I'll only do it when I'm drunk. So she drinks and does tarot and brings in channels.
Love it.
Famous people.
Maybe she could teach me how to use my tarot deck because I have no idea.
No, I don't either, really. I have a couple tarot decks. I buy them because I think they're pretty. Yeah. And I like to flip through the cards, and then I pull out a card, like you flip them, and then the one that goes flying, that's the one you take.
Yep.
And then you look and you go, okay. And then I just look up the meaning of it.
Oh, yeah, that's one. Yeah, that's probably the best way.
I don't know how to interpret the cards for my specific question or whatever. That's for the professionals. But I like to just grab a card and look at it. So. But I think she does stuff a lot more in depth than that. But she has a lot of really good resources on her website with videos and how to do things and classes she teaches and fun things she does. And so it's really cool.
And you'll put the site in the show notes, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Perfect.
All the links to her YouTube channel and her website and her Instagram. She does Instagram lives and stuff too. And she's on Twitter. X. She's on Twitter too. Oh, X, yeah. Whatever.
We don't call it Twitter anymore.
Okay. Can I call it twattin'? Because that's what I've been calling it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, way back in the day before Musk ever took over, we would always say so-and-so twatted.
Mm-hmm. But it just doesn't make sense that it's so stupid. It made sense. Birds tweet. It was Twitter.
And that's how they talk to each other.
Yes. And now you've got this. Oh, he's so fucking stupid.
He's an idiot. I know.
This is what happens when people get too much money. They just turn into fucking morons.
I know.
Because I'm sure at one point he was very smart. He had to have been to make them
smart. Yeah. He just makes dumb decisions. I mean, he's got a brain. He does, technologically smart.
Yeah.
He just does stupid things.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
And Greg thinks that he is trying to shut down Twitter so that he can bring up the one that Trump likes. I don't know what it's called, True Story or some shit like
Cupid
that. I don't know.
Shit, that dumbasses tweet. Is that the name of the site?
I think that's it. Maybe there's an acronym for it. But yeah.
Or like a dash somewhere. Like
yes. Just a symbol. I don't know.
Oh Lord. This is a whole other podcast that we do. And I don't have the energy for it right now.
No, I don't either. Oh, and I was going to wait to do this till the next time we record an actual episode, but I'm so excited that we have a new patron.
Oh my God, I know. I was telling everybody at work this. Okay, so I'm getting ahead of myself. So tell everybody about our new patron.
Okay, so her name is Serena.
I hope we're saying it. It's Sarina.
Yeah.
I would think that's
Serena, but I'm probably Serena.
But if we're saying it wrong, please correct us. Yeah, we are not meaning to.
No, we'll do a corrections corner next time if we have to. Anyway, we want to welcome her. We're super excited. And I posted a welcome to our new patron, and she commented right away and said, we are the first podcast she's ever joined the Patreon for. And then she said, you're the first podcast I've ever heard. And I'm like, what?
When you said that, I was so honored. Like,
I know.
Thousands of podcasts are there. And she's like, I'm going to choose you guys.
I know, right?
We need to get shirts that say Serena chose us.
I love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we'll wear them and people will be like, who's Serena? And we'll be like, you are not privileged enough to know.
You're not in the Ghosty fam, obviously.
You're not
you would know.
A part of it. So only cool people know.
We could write underneath, if you know, you know.
Yeah. But we got to abbreviate it because that's what the cool kids do. So IYKYK.
Okay. Got it. I'll get working on that design tomorrow.
Let me know. I'll pop it out with my Cricut.
Okay, cool.
That I've used about 5 times because it's so intimidating to me. And I only have the joy. Like I don't even have the big ones. I don't know.
Maybe stick with that one until you decide it's really for you.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to mention why I asked her, how did you find us? Because I'm like, how does somebody who has never seen a podcast before find us?
Right.
And she said, Amy Allen pimped you guys out on an Instagram post a while back, and she follows your podcast. So yeah, I totally followed and started listening once I knew she had our backs.
And this is straight from Serena's mouth. Listen, I've known Serena a day and she would not lie.
She would not lie.
So from her lips to God's ears, she wouldn't lie.
That's right. So Amy pimped us? That would be amazing. I don't know.
Can we get that on the other side of the shirt?
Yeah, that'll have to be. Or maybe a different shirt. But yeah. So I don't know. I looked at her Instagram. I looked at her Twitter. I didn't see anything. And if she had tagged us, I would have gotten a notification, but I didn't. But that's not saying it didn't happen. Could have been a story. Yeah. She could have just mentioned our name. But somehow Serena found it. And here we are. And we're very excited.
Yes.
Amy Allen, if you're listening, we would love to have you on the show.
Yes.
If you haven't already heard that 6,000 times from us.
We're going to say it every day until you come on the show. I'm just kidding. No pressure.
Yeah. No pressure, though. We're not stalking you or anything. No pressure. But
just kidding.
Really should do it.
Well, I give you more until we wouldn't say no.
If you would come on the show, we would stop bothering you about it.
But then we'd start bothering you to come back.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be honest. I don't want to lie to Amy Allen. I don't want to lie to her.
That's true. You don't want to lie right out the gate.
No.
Yeah. So anyway, Patreon, going strong. Come on over. You can join at whatever level you want, including
You can join
free.
at $1.
You can join at $1.
You can join it free.
You can join it free. You just don't get everything that the paid people do. But yes, you can join at $1 right now. This may change if you're listening to this later in time, which doesn't exist.
Time is a social construct anyway.
That's right. But if you listen to this on or before August 17th, I believe is when this one comes out. We are 2023, exactly. Our tiers on Patreon are currently $1, $3, and $5. There is like a $10 or $20, but it's kind of hidden because I figured no one will do that.
No, let's be honest.
They're all the same. Everybody gets the same. Whatever. There's no
whatever. Yeah, there's no like you get more if you're a 5 or 10.
It wasn't that way in the beginning, but I changed it because I'd rather have 500 people at $1 than
10 at 5.
Exactly.
Because I'm not good at math, but even I know.
But I'm pretty sure that 500 at 1 is still more per month.
Than 5 at 10.
Anyway.
Math. But yeah, so please come over. You get bonus content, little blurbs that Amy edits out, that we edit out so that our episodes aren't 10 hours long.
Right. All right. Well, I just wanted to just meet real quick and chit chat about, and we did tell people that you had to leave her or you couldn't come because of a family emergency, but everybody's okay.
Yep. We're all good. It was all good. It was just something that was like, ooh.
Yeah. Totally.
But we're good.
Right. Good.
And I was very bummed, but I'm glad she'll be back because I do really want to meet her.
Well, I think she'll be back. And also she has this collective, basically it's a website where these people that are all in the paranormal world will come to her and say, I want to write a blog post about numerology or something like that. And so she has all these people in her
circle
group. That have all these abilities and all these different interests and stuff. And I said, it sounds to me like you would be a good person for us to go to find other people to interview. And she said, oh my God, I have so many cool people for you. Oh, we had a great time with her. She's hilarious.
Yeah. I can't wait to meet her. We only have cool people on our show. So
well, that's true. Why would we have on assholes?
We wouldn't.
No, we wouldn't.
Great question.
All right. Well,
all right.
Enjoy our interview with Kirsten, and
please do.
Megan will join us next time.
For sure.
We do listener stories. We are going to do more listener stories. So we still have, if people want to send those in, we still probably could still. Well, even if we don't do them on that episode,
we'll do them again. But yeah, send in your listener stories. Spooky, paranormal, alien. Ooh, glitches. Amy loves a good glitch.
Yeah. Oh, I could tell some glitches.
Loves a good glitch.
I do.
So if you have a glitch in the Matrix.
Yep.
Whatever you want to send us, we'll read. As long as it's nice. All right, Ghosty fam. Well, thank you and enjoy the episode.
Hey, there she
is.
Hello.
Hi,
welcome. So normally there's 3 of us. I'm Amy, the one you've been talking to. And then this is also Amy. We call her AP because we don't want to confuse everybody with more Amy's. And then we also have Megan, who's normally one of our co-hosts, but she had a family emergency. So she had to scoot off and beg out this time. But so she really wanted to meet you, but she was not able to join us today. So you just got the Amy's today.
Okay. I hope everything goes okay with Megan.
Yeah. Thank you. We hope so too. Hopefully everything's okay. So welcome. We're so glad you could join us.
I'm so excited about this. I'm super amped.
Good. Okay. So I know I told you a little bit about what we do. Normally we recap this show called The Dead Files. But they're on break right now. And so we thought we would just sort of pivot and do some different stuff. So what we've been doing is kind of a combination of interviews with people like yourself or listener stories. So people send us like their ghost stories and stuff, and then we read them or we have them come on and tell them or something like that. So that's what we're doing now. And that's why I was reaching out to find people. And I'm so glad we found you. Yes. So Amy and I have both kind of dug into your website and YouTube channel and stuff, but for the listeners, can you just give us a shorty about what you are, who you are, what you do, that kind of thing?
Well, what I am is a complete weirdo, but probably neither here nor there. So my name is Kirsten Langston, and I am a intuitive, or you might know the word psychic. I prefer intuitive because it just sounds a little bit classier, and I think psychics have sometimes a weird connotation to it.
Yep.
People think that I'm in a storefront,
a fortune teller,
appropriating a gypsy culture, right. Exactly. I started out reading tarot cards, and I started out in high school actually reading tarot cards, and I was always a little bit psychic. I never thought this would be my job. And basically what happened was I am a writer also, and so I wrote 4 novels, self-published, but I wasn't getting anywhere. It's difficult. So I get this reading from this guy on YouTube. His name's Andrew Martin. And I got a reading from him, and he says, you need to start a YouTube channel. And I said, what are you talking about? What am I going to do? Get on there and read my books? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. And he says, well, I'm telling you, you got to do it. So that same week, I had 2 other people out of nowhere. I wasn't complaining about, I can't get play on the books. 2 people said, I really think you should start a YouTube channel. I went, all right, fine. I'll start a YouTube channel. So I've been reading tarot cards for clients for a little while. I was working down at a little shop down by the water in Benicia. But it was, it was kind of, I was dealing with an injury, which is why I wasn't working a 9 to 5. And this was kind of a way to supplement income. And it wasn't like I was doing it super professionally. But I thought, well, shit, I guess. Oh, sorry.
No, you can swear.
Swear all the time.
Get it.
All words are acceptable.
Oh my God. Beautiful. So anyway, I went, guess I'll read tarot cards. I guess I'll get on YouTube and read tarot cards. So bam, it just took off. And I one night when I was reading cards for a friend, we were deep in the champagne, and I said, if I ever start a business, I'm going to call it Third Eye Champagne, because that's exactly what it is.
Nice.
And lo and behold, so now there's thirdeyechampagne.com, and it is all things psychic, paranormal. I love that kind of, I am obsessed with paranormal stuff. So in the course of my regular, psychic business, it's weird. There's weird stuff. The very first time I talked to an actual ghost, and I was like, mediums. I was just not like, I don't know. I'm not really, So I have this client, and the husband comes in, and he sits down. I'm down at the little shop, so it's face to face. And he sits down and he says, well, I'm a skeptic. And I went, because those are the worst people to read for. I was like, oh, great. This one's he's going to be awful, and he's going to be making faces and, all this stuff. But immediately I hear, it wasn't an auditory thing. So I didn't hear like a whisper, but I heard it in my head, and I went, oh, that's weird. That's not my voice. I heard, tell him about the watch. I know, the watch. What the hell? So I go, okay, there's somebody here, and it's a woman, and she's saying to talk about the watch. She says, it's very important not to give away the watch. He says, I don't know what you're talking about, lady. You're full of it. Da, 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 da. Then the lady says, so I describe her. I said, okay, well, she's telling me she's short, and she's got, like curly hair, and she's a little woman, and she passed away at a very late age, And he said, now I don't know what you're talking about. So then she gets pissed, and she says, tell him I know the dog. I'm not making this up. She says, tell him I know the dog took a shit in the hallway this morning, and he had to clean it up. So I go,
Wendy.
She was pissed. So I go, sir? Right. And this is like, I am kind of new to dealing with face-to-face clients. I'm new to dealing with tarot people. I was only reading for family and friends up till then. So, okay. So I go, sir, the woman here is saying that your dog, I did say the words took a shit. I said, your dog took a shit on the carpet this morning, and you had to clean it up. And his jaw hits the floor. And he goes, nobody knows that. I was the only person that nobody knows that. I said, I know. I'm telling you, there's a lady here, and she's talking about a watch. So he goes, oh my God, I got to go get my wife. So he runs out of the room, comes back in with the wife, and the wife says, the watch. And I said, yeah, it's a watch. And she's also saying a necklace. There's a watch and a necklace. And she's very adamant about this. She says, don't you dare get rid of those. And the woman starts crying. And she goes, oh, it's my answer. My answer. I inherited them from my aunt. And I was actually going to get rid of them because I never wear them. And
oh my God.
So that's when I was like, okay, so the mediumship thing is real. Yes. Psychics, and they're like, oh, you're so-and-so's here. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, lady. Not in a rude way, but it was kind of like, it was never anything specific enough for me to go, okay, that's real. So that kind of got me into the ghost thing. And I almost, ghosts were cool, right? But then I'm like, we need to do some ghost hunts. Like, we need to get into this. Like, we need to dig in. So that's how the paranormal sort of got wrapped into my psychic business. Before, it was strictly, I'm reading cards, I'm predicting the future, blah, blah, blah. But then after the dog shit lady is what I call it. The dog shit.
I love it.
After that, I was like, we need to look into the ghost thing because it's real. So that's basically how I ended up with Third Eye Champagne and how I ended up really dumping myself into the world of the paranormal. It was that moment.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I love it. That's a great story.
That is fantastic. And I also love the way that the name came about. And I know when Amy was telling us that you were going to be coming on, she's like, she's got third eye champagne. I'm like, I feel like I'm going to need some bubbly wine then. My favorite.
Yeah, we meet occasionally and make drinks for each other along with Megan and my husband, who's a skeptic, and he'll bartend for us sometimes. So.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's fun. So you started when you realized you had the abilities to talk to somebody who had already passed. Did you just sort of hone that on your own, or did you find a mentor, or how did you really get in touch with all of that?
I actually disliked it. I disliked it very much. Two things that happened prior to Dog Shit Lady. Number one, my dad passed away. And this is very weird. This is one of the weirdest things that ever happened, really. My dad was dying in my mom's house. He's upstairs. He's dying. And I'm sitting kind of meditating on the floor, sitting there. And this man hasn't moved in. He hasn't eaten. He hasn't had anything to drink. He hasn't moved in days. I'm meditating on okay, Dad, just okay, I'm going to help you let go. Da, da. The man gets up out of the bed and starts walking around the room, but it's like he's sleepwalking. And holy shit. So I ran out of the room towards the hallway screaming for mom, 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 mom. She comes upstairs. By the time I've turned around, he's back in the bed like it never happened. And she was like, Kier, I think maybe you've lost it a little bit. No, I swear to God. So right after he passed away, I could smell his soap. And I was like, is anybody smelling this? Is anybody smelling this? Is Dad's soap? Nope. Nobody can smell it. And then all of a sudden I hear him and he says to me, this is the stupidest thing. I mean, the man's my father. He's passed away. He has my kidney because I was a kidney donor. I gave him a kidney. So you would think I'm going to get this amazing message, right? Like, oh, baby, I'm okay. No, this is what he says to me. Cute. There's a plant that I moved. I'm going, oh my God, this is your afterlife message, you motherfucker. I was so upset. Listen, I moved this plant right before I went upstairs to die. This is literally word for word what he's telling me. No one else can hear this but me. I right before I went upstairs to die, I moved one of my plants behind this thing. It was getting too much sun. And now your mother can't see it. And she hasn't watered it in a week. And it's going to die. So I go, Mom? I mean, this man is maybe he's been cold, a day or so. It hasn't been very. Mom, Dad says there's a plant that he moved that's behind this thing. So we got to go downstairs. Sure enough, we go down and there's this plant he had moved behind a little.
Oh my God.
That was that she didn't know it was there.
Didn't know it was there.
So I moved it. And about 2 weeks after that, I'm on the phone with a friend of mine and her best friend had passed away several years ago. And I'm sitting there, we're chit-chatting, and all of a sudden I go, there's something in my house. There's something in my, I could feel it. It was like a presence came in. There's something in my house. There's something in my house. This is stupid, but I got up and I ran outside thinking like it's a mouse, it's not going to follow me outside. Right. I'm standing outside and oh my God, the thing followed me outside. And then this voice starts booming at me. I want you to tell her this, and this. And I'm going, I'm not telling anybody shit. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you are. And she's going, it's Allison. And I said, well, then prove it. And she says, tell her about the time I wore the leopard bikini and we had the sex on the beach. Drinks.
Okay.
So I go, okay. Right. I go, okay, girl, your best friend is here and she's talking about her leopard bikini and the sex on the beach that you guys had or whatever, the drinks. And she's like, what? And I said, is it really her? And she goes, yeah. I didn't know about this, so she had all these messages. And after that, I said, okay, that's a little weird. And then Dog Shit Lady happens. And I was like, you know what? This is invasive.
Yeah.
This is invasive. Yeah. I'm not doing this anymore. So I cut it off. I cut it off. I wouldn't do it anymore. It just became too, it was like they were coming in whenever they wanted.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, honestly, I mean, God bless the Dog Shit Lady and my dad and Allison, God bless them all. But is it really imperative that I move the plant from A to B? Is it really imperative that, she doesn't sell the watch and the necklace? Why are you worrying about this in the afterlife? And why am I the conduit for that? Mm-hmm. So I cut it off and I went, no, I'm not doing this anymore. And then what had happened is, so I started I do drug tarot. One of my
that's on my list to ask you about too.
I was doing a drug tarot with a friend of mine and, people are watching, we're live streaming. And all of a sudden, bam, I get hit with Chester Bennington. And it was just like a freight train. And it was right after. So it's the guy from Lincoln Park that, and he just started talking to me. And I was like, but he's not going away. He's not going away. I had a few though. So I was like, you know what? To hell with it. So I start telling everybody what this guy is saying. And somebody in the chat, I see that, the chat flies by and Chris Cornell. And all of a sudden it was like, bam, I had Chris Cornell. And so he's talking and he's very angry. So that was, after that, it was kind of like, all right, I'll do it when I'm drunk. So that's basically how the mediumship ended up happening. It was like, you know what? I really don't like to do it for clients. There's something invasive about it. And then sometimes the ghosts, they don't want to leave. Oh. And I get this really weird feeling in my house. It's like, yeah, I'll wave the sage and I'll do the thing and I'll bang the gong and I'll do the, clearing the rooms and all that. And they're just like, they're giving me the double middle fingers. I'm like, sure, I don't have to leave if I don't want to. So I thought, you know what?
Oh,
so I kind of, especially when you're doing client after client after client, it's just, it gets to be a lot. So I do it when I'm drunk. I do it for Drunk Tarot. And that's the only time I do my mediumship.
I love it. I know you did a Marilyn Monroe one just this last weekend, right? Not this weekend, but yeah. And you had sent me a link for it, but I couldn't watch it. We were doing something else, and so I didn't get a chance to watch it. But I do want to watch one of those sometime. So that's one of the pieces of your subscription service, right? So do you want to tell the people what your subscription service is like, what it involves, how they can get into it?
So I do free stuff on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. You always get, free nuggets there. I'm live streaming for free on YouTube the first and last Thursdays of the month. And everything else is subscription. So that's at thirdeyechampagne.com. And I still have my Patreon up. It's just type in Kirsten Langston for Patreon. It'll take you right there. But basically, we are looking at, we have a drunk tarot where we get some cocktails. Sometimes I have guests. And we look at, so we did Marilyn Manson. Oh, see, there I go. Marilyn Manson. We did Marilyn Monroe. And the month before, we did Charles Manson. So I was in the hospital on my deathbed in December.
Oh.
Yeah, my appendix burst. I got sepsis and I was actively dying in the hospital. Super excited.
My God.
Yes. And during my recovery, I was like, I'm going to reread Helter Skelter. I got very deeply into Charles Manson, Manson. And I thought, you know what? This is so dark. But I was like, my first drunk tarot back, I'm going to do Charles Manson and the Mansons.
Wow.
So that's what the subscribers are getting. It's stuff like that. We're going to be doing Hugh Hefner. I also do a lot of paranormal episodes. One of my favorite ones I just did, and this is all subscriber. Again, it's $11 a month. It's super cheap.
That is good. That's very good.
So you're getting the drunk tarots. You're getting live streams where you can ask whatever you want. You're getting the paranormal episodes. So I got very into weird stuff while I was recovering. Doppelgangers is a new one for me. Yep. So there's a whole episode on doppelgangers. Black-eyed children is another one. There's a whole episode on that, which the stories that you hear and people are going, it's a creepypasta. But then there's a guy that wrote a book and was like, no, this is real. This is what happens. Mm-hmm. So there's the latest one was on werewolves, a lot of bizarre stories about werewolves. But my favorite one is, so this man feels something come over him one day. And he goes nuts. And he's at home. He lives at home with his parents. He's like 16. He starts ripping out the fence. He's ripping out the fence posts. He's pulling things down. He's going nuts. He's roaring. The parents have locked themselves in the house. And eventually he just calms down and he stops. Okay. A couple of years go by. He's about to get married. He's out at his bachelor party. And bam, the thing hits again and he rips apart a taxi. So again, it calms down. And again, a couple of years go by, but there's some weird, they're saying, his face is contorting and he's growling and it seems like his body is contorting. And, so eventually Ed and Lorraine Warren, if you know who they are, I'm sure you know who they are.
Yeah.
They get involved and they go, all right, so here's the deal. You've got the demon of a werewolf. You have a werewolf demon inside you.
Oh, for God's sake.
I swear to God, this is all on my website. This is the stuff I look into. They said, we're going to fly you to America and get you exorcised of the werewolf demon. And there are photos online. If you look up Ed and Lorraine, werewolf guy, basically. There are photos of this guy's face and it's all contorted and messed up. It's in the video I did. It's the most insane thing I've ever seen. So they perform this exorcism on him And bam, he's never a werewolf again. He's cured. But I mean, that's the kind of stuff that's
Wow.
up on Third Eye Champagne. And then we look at, like, I'm going to be looking at Lizzo. We got to read on Lizzo because, you know, she's got a whole lawsuit and people are saying, oh, she's not the nice person that she said she was. She's sexually harassing people. She stole this guy's girlfriend now. So they're talking about this woman said, oh, yeah, I met her and she stole my boyfriend. Like she's.
Yeah,
So
I saw that woman on TikTok.
Yeah, we got to look at Justin Trudeau because he is newly single. It was something I did predict years ago. So I look at that kind of stuff, you know, but it's like, it's one of my favorite things. And then I've got a spell dictionary. I've got an omen dictionary. I got a numerology dictionary. We have astrology. We have guest bloggers. I think
Excellent.
it's one of the coolest things because it's kind of everything in one space. And then
I love that.
Series, so I just did a series on fashion designers. We did Gianni Versace. I like true crime too, so we're going to be looking at
Yeah, us too.
So Gianni Versace, that whole thing, and Alexander McQueen. Those are like, it's a little dark, so you know, but other stuff like this new series we're going to be looking at doing readings on. It's the drug series. So I'm going to be reading on Timothy Leary. I'm going to be reading on the various energies of various drugs. The 80s culture of just say no to drugs. We did one of my favorite Dunteros. This is the weirdest one. We did a Rosemary's Baby Pablo Escobar mashup.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
So I ran it on, you know, the Curse of Rosemary's Baby and Roman Polanski and the Dakota. And then we throw in Pablo Escobar and he was chatty, let me tell you.
Wow. So
that's all you get.
You're doing a tarot reading, but you're also bringing these spirits in?
Yes.
To the session? Okay.
Yes.
And didn't you said in an email, and I briefly mentioned it in our last episode, something about Delores O'Riordan?
Delores O'Riordan. So this was, I forget what drug tarot was, but my friend Megan, she brings the ghosts a lot. She is we've gone ghost hunting with her and she is crazy. She just brings a lot of ghosts in. So somehow Delores O'Riordan shows up. I don't remember what we were reading on, but she can get me to drink too. So we're like, let's do it. And Delores is very angry. And I'm like, you know, I don't want to read on this lady. She's really upset. I don't like her energy. You know, and I'm sure she was very pleasant in life, but for whatever reason that night we didn't get a happy person. And so somebody in the chat said, you got to sage. Like, you got to sage. And Megan's freaking out. So I'm like, all right, we'll sage. So we sage a little bit. Okay. I put the sage out. I put it in a fireproof bowl in my kitchen. We go back in the living room, we start doing drug tarot. And we're doing it for a while. That's the same night that Megan accidentally ate the dog food. I mean, this is voluntary. But Mom is away from the camera. She comes out of the kitchen. She's like eating this thing. And she's like, this is really delicious. And I look at it. I go, babe, you're eating dog food. You know, I mean, so this is welcome to my world. And so she goes in the kitchen to get more drinks. And she goes, holy shit, fire, fire, fire. And I went, and I don't know how we missed it because I think we were just so in our zone. But the whole kitchen is starting to fill up with smoke. The sage had gone up. The sage had just, and usually you have sage. I mean, it's a slow burn. Like, you know what I mean? It's a slow burn. It doesn't ignite.
Combust. Yeah.
Yep. It was on fire. And so, you know, we're screaming, Delores, set the kitchen on fire.
Oh my God. Well, these sessions sound hilarious.
It's a good time.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I was just thinking as you were talking through some of the ones you've talked about through drunk tarot, Princess Grace of Monaco was always one of those stories that's kind of interests me.
It is, right? Because it was a car accident, was it?
Yes. But and everybody's like, but it was a weird car accident. And then
it was I need to write this down. You're right. I gotta do Princess Grace. I have to. That's I didn't even think of that one. That's a really good one.
It was one of those things. I was like, yep, gotta mention that one. I had to make sure that I had the right name, but
yes, no, you're right. That is a good one. I forgot about. And then there was kind of the curse. They were saying that she was cursed because all this stuff started happening with the daughter. And
yep.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my God. Oh, you're giving me chills.
And then people were making connections at one point with Princess Di because that was also a car accident. But so
very interesting. I do a lot of readings on the royal family, and they're a weird bunch.
Yeah. That's that much I know.
They got some very weird energy. It's very, very strange energy.
Oh, wow.
I think you don't even have to be able to read energy as well to see that just in general.
Wait.
You look at them and you're going, all right, so you guys are fucked up. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, fun. There was another one I was going to mention. Oh, I was just thinking that for these drunk tarots, especially because you like true crime too, to look into like these like old Hollywood people, like you said, Princess Grace, who maybe died under strange circumstances, Natalie Wood or.
He's going to be on my list. Yes.
Okay.
She's on there.
And then there's another one that's really old.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. There's another one that's really old, and I can't remember her name now. It starts with it's like Theta something, or anyway,
Theta Bar, did she die in a weird way?
Is that the one I'm thinking of? Maybe it's not her. I don't think it's her.
I'll Google for a minute.
AP's our fact checker, so whenever Megan and I are like, what's the name of that thing, the thing? And then she goes off and figures it out. So she'll figure it out while we're talking. Okay, so I had on, let's see, Explain Drunk Tarot. What is a misconception about psychics or tarot readers that you can dispel for our people?
I think that I don't want to call it a misconception. I think that a lot of people just think it's bullshit. And a lot of people are scammers. And
yes.
that is the one thing
yes.
That's the one thing I really like to advocate for people. Like, when you're looking for a psychic, especially for your personal, I mean, you're watching a psychic online, kind of, who cares? If they get it right, who cares? If they get it wrong, who cares? Yeah. But if you're hiring somebody and you're paying them really good money, you have to vet them. You have to vet them. And I will say this, if a reading is not going well, don't be afraid to stop it. Don't be afraid to ask for your money back. I've only one reading before and said, this is not going to work and I'm going to give you your money back. And it's because the lady was an asshole. But
so it worked out.
But I think one of the big things people really need to pay attention to is, what is this person's track record? Right now, we're really saturated online with everybody. Oh, I'm psychic. Oh, I'm psychic. Oh, I'm psychic. I mean, it's a big thing right now. Yeah. And I think that if you're going to hire somebody that you're watching online, Thelma Todd. Yep, that's it. Thelma Todd. Yep. If you're going to watch somebody online, start paying attention to whether they get it right or not. Start paying attention to what they do. If that's not the case, if you're like, well, so-and-so recommended so-and-so. Okay, that's good. If your friend's recommending somebody and they've got a good track record with, but ask, are their predictions coming true? When they look at me, are they getting it right? Are they reading in a compassionate and kind way? I've seen a lot of readers that are right on the money that I left feeling like garbage from because they are so just the delivery. And it's like, well, Spirit wants me to tell you. And then it's like, blah, 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 blah. I've had to correct readings for people. They've paid a lot of money to go see certain people. And then they come to me and they go, this person told me I had cancer. Or this person told me I had...
That's dangerous.
I had mold in my walls. This person told me that my husband's cheating on me and I need you to look at it. The first thing I always tell people is, no psychic is 100% right 100% of the time. Not me, not anybody, period. However, if somebody's telling you you're sick, if you come to somebody, you say, I had these tests done and I have cancer, and what is the advice from the cards? That's the reading you want to get. Not, do I have cancer? Let me ask the psychic. No, go ask your doctor.
Go to the doctor.
Get a scan. It's really important to make sure that your people are vetted, which I don't mean it's actually an accidental plug for the site, but I actually have people that I know that I trust on my website for free. So you don't have to join. There's a lot of free stuff on that website, a lot of free episodes you can go see, but I have a list of practitioners. So these are tried and true people I trust. These are astrologers. These are psychics. These are Reiki practitioners, healers, but you really want to make sure that you are vetting these people. Don't just do it to do it. I mean, if it's $25, okay, throw away your $25. Who cares? If it's 40, if it's 50, who cares? But when you start getting in the hundreds and up, make sure you're seeing, because there are so many scammers. And I will say this also, anybody that tells you you've got a curse, I need more money to remove it. I mean, I have said to people, your ancestral line needs some clearing. I'll say that, you can clear it yourself. I will never tell a client they are cursed. Anybody that says, oh, you need all this work and I can do it. Oh, I got to buy you a special crystal. But, you just give me, any psychic that is continuing to take money from you, that's saying, yeah, you can see me every week. No, that's a no. That's a hard no. My mentor, who is one of the best psychics I've ever known, who happened to be my cousin, she would not read for somebody outside of 6 weeks. And that was the soonest. No, don't come back to me for 6 weeks. Don't come back to me for 6 weeks. With certain people, I'll do it a little bit sooner. I will handhold them sometimes. But for the most part, especially if they're going through something, for the most part, if a psychic's telling you, yep, come see me, keep spending your money on me. No.
Okay.
So
that's good to know.
Necessarily misconception, but I like to warn people because I feel like so many people get scammed, and there's real psychics out there, and there's really good psychics out there. You know, you just have to find them.
I think it's really helpful to share that information, you know, especially if you have people out there that are wanting to look into something or wanting to look around for that information and nobody else supports them in that decision, you know, having that feeling of being alone and being like, well, I want to hear from somebody. I need to know they're okay, or any of those sorts of things.
Yeah. And that's the other thing too, especially with mediumship. I will tell you this, they're always okay. They're always okay. There's no place where a person has passed away and they're like, man, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. I've gotten, you know, like they're always okay. Sometimes it just helps to hear somebody say it.
Yeah.
But once they've said it, get your money's worth, you know, tell them, all right, now I want to look at my marriage. I want to look at business advice. I want to look at all this other stuff, you know. I think that also with people, when you're in a desperate space, and I've been there myself, it's really helpful, right? To be like, okay, the psychic is a mystic and they're connected to stuff I'm not connected to. And so they can tell me all these answers. Like, be careful. Be careful.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see, especially if you're in a state where you're just looking for anything that will help, that it's easy to fall for something that's not great.
It is. And one thing I do want to say also is that a real psychic is not going to hit you up. I don't hit people up for business. I don't need to. You know what I'm saying? Right. So any of these people on, you know, Instagram, TikTok especially.
Oh, TikTok's the worst.
I had people scammed out of money because they thought it was a fake account. They thought I was messaging them, and you know.
I don't know how many times fake Amy Allen has reached out to me.
Oh, sure.
As soon as they find that you are following a psychic, they make an account that follows, it's very similar to that person's name with one extra dash or whatever. And then they follow everybody who follows that real person. And then they say, my love, I have something I want to tell you about. It always starts with my love. I have something I want to tell you about. Are you open to a reading? And then, you know, some people think, oh my God, it's Amy Allen talking to me. And it never is. Never.
No, it never is. One of them tried to scam my aunt. And she was like, I don't think so. One of them tried to scam my brother, and he decided to go hard in the paint. He was like, I went after this guy. He was like, first he was like reeling him in. And he was like, yeah, tell me more about this reading I can get. Oh, tell me what you're charging. And then he hits him and he's like, you know, I know you're a fake, blah, blah, blah. And the guy on the other end, he started just abusing my brother. Fuck you, motherfucker, And my brother was like, you don't know what you're messing with. I mean, they went back and forth for a little while. And eventually the guy shut his account down.
Yeah, it is tempting to kind of reel him in a little bit and fuck with him, but I haven't done that yet.
That's awesome. And I've gone to see one several times over the years, and I usually end up bringing somebody with me, but usually when I set it up with her, I shoot her an email and say, hey, I've got some people coming. And this spring was a friend of mine who lost her husband tragically and just needed some. So I just said, I have a person who just needs to, you know, talk. I didn't even give the she, her or anything, because I like, that's just my kind of style. So people can't be like, oh, Amy fed them information.
Right.
And so, it was, she was able to record her session so she could go back and listen to it as
Which
needed.
Is nice.
That's really nice. Yeah. Amy brought me and Megan and another friend along with, was that in September last year? I want to say. That we all went to see this psychic that AP knows. Her name's Jenny. And I really didn't know what to expect. And it was amazing. It was so, like, I didn't realize, I thought it was like she was going to be like fortune telling. I didn't think that my dad, who died 2 years before was going to show up. And so he did. And I was like, what? And she said stuff that even the people in the room, even Amy and Megan, didn't know about my dad. And the other woman that was there, we had just met that morning. I had just met that morning. So nobody else in that room knew things about my dad that this lady knew. And so it was like, yeah, that's the real deal. And we're going to see her again toward the end of this month. Yeah. So that'll be fun. Yeah, that's always cool.
Yes.
All right. What else do I have on my list?
Well, Amy,
you want to talk about? Yeah, you want to talk about? Yeah. Let's see.
So, Kirsten, I was interested in. I saw numerology on your website, and just knowing a little bit more about that. It's something that's been interesting, and like I know there's information behind all of it, but I don't understand it all. So, I'd love to know a little bit more about how you do numerology and that.
It's really interesting to me. So we have a great blogger on the site. His name is Mitch. And I would say it's Mitch Horowitz, but I could be totally butchering the last name. Memory isn't great since I got out of the hospital. It's kind of like, we got to like ramp back up,
Yeah.
But I know his first name is Mitch for sure. He is a numerologist, I believe, out of Australia. And he's written a lot of really amazing articles about, this is what this means. This, you have certain numbers. You have your soul number. You have your life path number. And I don't know why the numbers work, but they work. And what's really interesting to me is I see this all the time with myself. The universe communicates in numbers. So, you're seeing that 11, of course, that's the big one. But, 10, 12, 12, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 2, 5, 5, 5, all of that. That is the universe saying, hey, I'd like to have a conversation. And I think that's one of the best ways to utilize it. What the guides have always shown me when I ask about, it's weird. They sort of show me the matrix. I mean, they show me numbers. They show me zeros and ones and zeros and ones and zeros and ones. And then they say, like, we communicate in numbers. So there's something about the numbers that honestly, to me, it's a mystery. To me, it's mystical. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't know why it works. I'm not a numerologist. And even if I was, I don't know that they really know why it works.
Okay.
But I know that one of the fundamental building blocks of the entire universe is math.
Yeah. As my
so
husband says, everything is math.
It is. It really is, which sucks because I hate math, but.
Me too. Cool. Yeah, I'd like to know more about that too. We'll have to look into his stuff. It sounds like you have a lot of connections of people that we would find really interesting to talk to as well. So,
and I could give you a guest list for the next 6 months. I first of all, I know a lot of skilled people, but I know a lot of weirdos too. And those are some of my favorites, it's just just wild stuff. I mean, there are, and I like it because, people reach out to me, which is really nice. So I get people say, hey, I want to write an article for your website. Hey, I want to write a blog for your website. Nice. Hey, I want to be on, on your YouTube channel. This is what I've got. The one thing where I'm bare, which I'm trying to build up, is my Bigfoot situation. I don't know any people that have Bigfoot. I've been asking, send me your Bigfoot encounters. Do you hunt Bigfoots? I want to talk to you. And it's crickets. So I'm trying to really want to get into the Bigfoot thing. That stuff is crazy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I don't know any of those either. Our podcast is in a network of other paranormal, spooky, true crime, whatever podcasts. And so we kind of connect with each other. It's a very informal network. It's not, it's one guy just kind of came up with a name and said, you want to join? And then we share each other's promos and talk about each other on our respective shows and stuff. And so it's been really fun to get to know some of these people. And some of these shows do deal more with cryptids and stuff like that. So I've seen a little bit of stuff like that and heard some of their episodes. But that's one thing I don't know that much about. Really.
I am so my brother actually lives right where the Willow Creek, he lives right near there. So we just went up Bigfoot hunting up there, and this is ridiculous, but so we boated into this campsite. Nobody's out there. I mean, nobody's out there. It's we're the only people there. It's me, my brother, and my nephew. And my brother, we were unfortunately sober. And I think that's where the problem comes. So I have these recordings, right? Because you're supposed to go out there, you play the Bigfoot screams and you tap on the trees and the Bigfoots are supposed to do a thing. So we're out there and my nephew decides it's a great time to tell us the story of, what is it? Delores Pass, where the
Dyatlov Pass, yeah.
Dyatlov Pass. But so my nephew's telling us the story and it's so vivid and so descriptive that by the time it's time to go to bed, Ian and I are like, it's dark. My nephew's going, okay, play the Bigfoot screams. I'm like, I'm playing those. Are you crazy? Those could be angry. Wait, what those mean? We don't know what the screams are. They could be distress calls. We're not playing those. And he goes, Auntie, and I'm filming the whole thing. He goes, Auntie, this is the whole reason we're here. I know. But the last thing I want to do is have to cut my way out of a tent and they're going to find me half naked with no tongue, like 5 miles from here. Jeez. Like, I'm not doing it. Yeah, he wanted to tell us the damn stories. And it just got into my head. My brother and I took the butcher knife and slept with it between us in the tent. And I'm awful at it, but it's very intriguing.
Yeah, that would scare me. I would not want to play those sounds either.
What state do you call home?
I'm in the Bay Area in California, right near San Francisco.
Oh, I'm jealous. I love San Francisco.
So do I.
Love it. I would never want to live there just because I don't like tourists. And it would drive me crazy.
I mean, I have very specific destinations when I'm in the city. It's like, I'm going here, I'm going here, I'm going here. Mm-hmm. Whatever you do, don't go to Fisherman's Wharf. I mean, that's like...
Oh, God. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. The last time I was there, I was like, tourists driving me crazy. Yeah. So I was like, I don't think I want to live here, but I sure do like visiting. Beautiful area.
Beautiful. It really is.
Cool. All right. Is there anything else we want to cover? Anything else you can think of, Kirsten, that you would like to make sure our listeners know?
Yeah.
About what you do?
I got to tell you one paranormal story because this is like,
excellent.
To me is like this is real deal shit and it's on camera. So in Benicia, where I'm from, there is a building called the Portuguese Hall. And it is the most haunted building. So I took my medium friend in there and she said, this is the most haunted building I've been in besides the Stanley Hotel, which is the inspiration for the Overlook, right?
Yeah.
So I have heard people running, alone in the building. I've heard people running upstairs. I've heard people talking. I've heard people singing. So when I knew it was haunted, I was there with my friend. So it's a whole spiritual Portuguese situation that goes on down there. And we celebrate something called Holy Ghost and it's a whole deal. So the night before Holy Ghost, I was there with my friend. We were just out of high school. We were upstairs and this is so stupid. I said, I've never been in the men's room. Let's go in the men's room. Because this is what you do when you're, 70. Let's go in the men's room. So we're in the men's room. All of a sudden we hear all these people come in. I go, oh my God, Jessica, what is going on? She goes, I don't know. There's all these people here. So we came out, we ran downstairs, completely empty in the building. So that was right. So I have ghost hunted this building several times. It was actually this close to being on Ghost Adventures. And it was, I think that they sort of shied away because it was a spiritual thing. When we've got, the Virgin Mary statue in there. And I think they said, because, they're big into their demons. And I think for them to come in and say, there's a demon in the spiritual Portuguese hall, it probably wouldn't fly.
Right.
But we were this close. So one night I'm there with my friend Casey and we're ghost hunting and this is for the channel. And I found a prop cigarette on the floor. So I took it and I put it on a table and I said, okay, the filter is facing towards First Street. If you're really here, move the filter to face the other direction. We're alone in the building for sure. We walk away maybe, 20 or 30 feet. And then we're going, oh, wait, we got to go back and grab something. We turn around and bam, the cigarette was moved from this direction to the opposite direction. And I screamed and I was like, we have to leave right now. We have to go. We can't be in here. So we got some professional ghost hunters in there and they came in and nothing too much happened. And so we left. And as they were leaving, I was walking them out to their car and I looked up and I said, well, that's weird. The light is on upstairs. So one of the guys came with me to do the fuse box because we have to turn off all the fuses. So we go up, we turn off all the fuses. We start to hear footsteps walking towards us from upstairs. We're right downstairs at the base of the stairs. We're hearing his footsteps, and he's looking at me, he's going, oh shit, right? Because he's excited. And I'm going, yeah. So we do the fuses. I go upstairs. I check the light. The light is off. We leave. come back around the side of the building, and I look up and I go, the light's back on.
No.
So the ghost hunters, professionals, mind you, they're a feeder group that feed people to ghost adventures. So, I mean, this is their job.
Yeah.
So they go, okay, we're going to go back in. But we get in there, and the leader, person in charge of the group, she actually was completely freaked out. She said, this is major poltergeist activity. We shouldn't be in here. We got to leave. We got to get out of here right now. And they left. That is my paranormal hotspot, my Benicia paranormal hotspot. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, especially when the lights are turned off at the fuse box level. It's not like a wiggly light bulb that got bumped or the wind hit it and it swished or anything like that. I mean, at the fuse box, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
Yep.
Scary.
It's a good way to kind of wrap it up. That's paranormal. That's kind of creepy stuff.
I love it. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. That was a great story, and all the other stuff too. We will definitely have all of your links in our show notes. Thank you so much.
Yes,
We'd love to have you back, talk about some other stuff some other time too.
Yes,
So if you're interested in that, yeah.
I'm so down.
Good.
That was super fun.
Good. Excellent.
Amazing.
Okay.
It was
All right.
fun meeting you, and I love your
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
It
It
was
was
great.
awesome to meet you guys. I'm really glad that you felt like we were invited and that you invited me on.
Yeah,
Very cool.
for sure. All right. Okay. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Awesome. I enjoy her.
Yeah, she was great. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, when she was talking about all the drunk tarots, I was like, my brain just went to Princess Grace.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to make sure that it is Princess Grace of Monaco. But that one's a weird story.
Yeah. I don't know that much about
I think
that.
my favorite.
I mean, I know
murder
her
covered
and all that, but I don't know that much about her.
I remember I heard it on, I think it was My Favorite Murder covered it, but I don't know if it was them or And That's Why We Drink. But I sent you a link to, I think it was like 10 golden age of Hollywood murders or deaths that are still mysterious. And that's where I found Thelma Todd. Yeah.
That's definitely the one I was thinking of. Yeah. There's a couple of old Hollywood type podcasts that I listen to that have covered that. And that's a interesting story. I also would love for her to dial up JonBenet Ramsey.
Oh, yeah.
That is one I'd like to know what's going on, because we'll never find out in this lifetime, in this reality.
That is, by the way, My Favorite Murder. It was episode 216. If you want to listen to that one, it was pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Grace of Monaco.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the JonBenet one. We'll never know the answer to it.
No, the scene has been too compromised. Everything has been so fucked in every which way.
I struggled that it couldn't have been somebody. It had to have been somebody she knew.
I think so.
And I know that they're trying to say now that there's like more evidence that they've looked at that it was not a family member or somebody that they knew. But I don't know. Like,
I have a hard time with that. Yeah.
Especially since it was in the house and not outside of the house, taken somewhere.
Yep. Yeah. I'm surprised I haven't seen Kirsten on TikTok, because I see so many others, but I
will now.
Yeah, I probably would. Now that my phone has heard of me talking to her, they'll probably send me, or at least fake accounts of hers.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are a few.
Exactly.
So thanks for joining us, everyone, for our interview with Kirsten Langston. It was super fun, and we'll probably have her back on again sometime in the future.
Oh, yeah.
So do you want to tell us, AP, what we're doing next week?
Yeah. Next week, we will be reading and listening to your submitted stories. We have ghosts, fairies, and more waiting for you. Maybe even a special guest. So join us next time for all of that and more.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Activity Continues podcast. We really appreciate you giving us your ears for a bit. Please reach out if you have a suggestion for which episode of The Dead Files we should cover next, or if you have a spooky story you'd like us to share on the show. We can be reached at theactivitycontinues@gmail.com or through our website or any of our socials. Links are all in the description of the show. Please feel free to drop us a note and say hi. And join us next time when The Activity continues. The Activity Continues is produced by me, Amy, at Collected Sounds Media and is part of the independent Collected Sounds Podcast Network. We are also proud members of the Boo Pod network of super cool podcasts.
Nailed it.
Oh, hi there. This is Kate.
And I'm Dominic, and we are your hosts of Shitting Bricks, the podcast.
Every week we'll bring you an episode of what makes people shit bricks. Is it a fear of death? Deep water? Running out of wine? Cannibalism? We take a warped look at these topics using examples from history that are the epitome of some scary shit.
You can find us on all the regular podcast streaming services like Apple, Spotify, and Google. For exclusive content including behind-the-scenes nuggets, links to weekly topics, and maybe even merch in the future, head to Shitting Bricks Podcast on Instagram and YouTube. But for now, drop your dacks, pop a squat, and let's get into it.